Hi, so here we are at the Gratitude Festival for his charity, the Men's Mental Health, with the beautiful and lovely Jules and Pea. So Jules and Pea, can I just ask, festivals, how are they to organise? Going back to yesterday.
Stressful, really stressful. Today we're going to enjoy the day a lot more because all the mistakes and errors and everything that went wrong was yesterday. Today is perfect.
But let's just have a little, because it's always a bit fun talking about the teething problems. So what happened yesterday?
Well, we had a coffee machine blow the whole Jenny out, all the dance tent went, acoustic tent went, and then obviously people were waiting, where's the music?
But look at it today and last night, it was absolutely banging, wasn't it? Absolutely banging. So can I just ask, why do you involve music with your mental men's health charity?
It's just a really relaxing way, isn't it, to like open up and just feel like you just can be part of something, and that's all that everyone needs, is part of a family feel and just not be isolated. So it's just a really relaxing way, isn't it, Joe, you know?
And can I just ask how you guys started his charity?
Well, we started his charity, unfortunately, after Tim here took his life in 2019. He was struggling after a car accident and then was really isolated and vulnerable. And he ended up taking his life. He was a massive figure in my life. He was the life and soul of anybody's party, and just a gentle, gentle soul. And after working in mental health for over 30 years, I know I'm quite old.
I thought you were only about 25.
Of course. But and working with the system, I realised, the system is very, very flawed, and unfortunately Tim fell through those gaps with the ever-growing gap. And
I'm very sorry about your friend, and I know you're doing a fantastic job. Could you tell everyone how your charity is different compared to others? Because I know you've brought in the buddy and the wraparound.
We have. We've got like a tailor-made sort of like care package for every individual, because everyone's different, and the therapy could go on for a few weeks or it could go on for a few years. So we don't turn anyone away. Everyone is welcome to stay with us until they've got positive mental health, and even if they do go away, they can come back at any time as well if they're feeling a little bit like they've got a wobble or something like that. So, and it's just the key system works really well, doesn't it? They're the backbone of the charity, putting all these different people in place around one person builds their confidence, and it really catapults their progress so much faster than what you would get with the NHS. And no disrespect to the NHS, but they just haven't got the service for mental health.
And I hear you've done something absolutely fantastic, which is you've been to Parliament recently. Could you tell us a bit about that? Because that must have been really nerve-wracking. I mean, I'm nervous standing here, and you were in front of probably thousands of people.
it was very nerve-wracking. I didn't realise how much pressure I had on my shoulders until it was done. But yeah, it was very... I was very honoured to be asked, for the charity to be asked to talk and amongst the peers and MPs. We said, listen, we don't work the same way as the NHS. Unfortunately, when you get referred with the NHS, you get 6 to 15, if that, counselling sessions, and then you get referred back to GP again. Yeah. And I said, we do need funding. The government do recognise that more needs to be done about connection and development with individuals.
Because it's really important to start, if you've got, let's say, a boy, a son, it's important to start in the family with the mum and the dad teaching that child, isn't it?
That's right. I mean, we all therapeutic parents anyway with at his, and that is what we tend to go with and teach others to do the same. But also where it's the chicken and the egg in certain situations. So if you have a child, a lot of children start suffering from that low self-esteem at a very early age. And so it's about building and developing that person, because what's happening at the moment with the system is that they are then developing low self-esteem and behaviour issues, anxiety, and then they're going with it and it manifests into adulthood.
Because I guess at school, if boys are a bit naughty, it's bad behaviour, but it could actually be something else, couldn't it?
Absolutely, and which is why also we are solely a male mental health charity, because boys and men are very, very different. It's not one size fits all, and you cannot put them in the same category as women. You know, it's different issues, even a different way of learning. You know, and so we have to also say, you know, because I've seen it myself in the education system sometimes when it's like, you don't need your mum now. You know, you're a big boy. Don't stop crying. You know, and that carries on of man up, pull yourself together.
Well, it's like the Cure song. We're talking about music. Boys don't cry is one of the lyrics, isn't it? So, and with with the men these days, because obviously historically, men, like you said, have been told to sort of grow up or hide your feelings. Are there ways to prevent that now with men that haven't been brought up with empathetic parents? Can we prevent suicide? And also, well, I'll let you finish that one actually, because that's quite a long question.
Yeah, it is, and the answer is yes, we can. That is what we do at His. We develop people. A lot of men have grown up without a positive male role model, and so we then develop that, give them those skills and the tools that they need to look after their mental health and their emotional needs. That's what we're dealing with, emotional needs, and so that is what our work in a sense does. We've got our therapy fields where it's, you know, with the bushcrafting and literally a lot of regression work. So we've got trauma, childhood trauma, or even PTSD. We have a lot of ex-soldiers with that, and it's literally regression, taking them back to a safe place, rebuilding, and then developing them. And that is
because there are a lot of daily things that men face that other people don't actually see, aren't there?
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure, you know. Men seem to think that they've got to be the breadwinners, you know, they've got to supply the family with everything and they can't crack up and they've got to be strong. And that's why a lot of them don't actually tell their wives or their families, because they just don't want to burden them.
It could be anything though. It could be even like fertility problems or could you give us some examples of all the different reasons?
Well, I mean, if you take Tim's story, and again, and I looked at his story, he had a car crash. He was on his way to work, had a car crash, and the woman in the car had a child. She didn't put the seatbelt on her child. And that was such a horrific crash because the boy was very badly injured. He didn't have any mental health problems, but he was a sensitive father, and he took all that on himself. And he even went to his GP and said, "This is how I'm feeling. I feel suicidal. This is what I want to do." He went into detail and said, "I'm going to hang myself, I'm going to do that." And he was given more medication.
Right, so
3 weeks later.
The emotional side is so important. So can I just ask, I know you do festivals, because here I am with the lovely ladies, but how else do you spread the word? Where else do you go to do this?
We do like little pop-up events around the area. Yeah, they are. We just take over someone else's venue and bring in some brilliant DJs and stuff and really have a nice fun time. So yeah, lots of lovely things like that. We've got a brilliant thing coming up next spring, and we're going to do the banger race, and it's going to be bring a banger. Under £1,000, wasn't it?
That's
the car's
right,
got to be, and we're all going to race up to, well, not race because that's dangerous, but we're all going to convoy up to the West Country, and that's going to raise a hell of a lot of money. And it's a fancy dress thing. I'm Burt Reynolds. This is Captain Chaos. We'll wrap the car, and we're going to have some real fun with that. It's going to be good, that one.
That's amazing. Well, it's been a pleasure to meet you and to be here, so thank you very much as well. And can you just let everyone know on the socials where they can find you? And just guys out there, even if you're struggling, please just literally pick up the phone and they're there for you. But if you could just tell everyone about socials.
Absolutely. So again, it's all the W's, and it's his charity.
You like saying that, don't you? I heard her on the radio interview. All the W's.
That's my little catchphrase. So yeah, all the W's, and it's his charity, co.uk.
That's brilliant. Thank you much. Thank you very much, ladies. I can't even speak now.
Thank you, Jess. Thank you, darling.
Thank you, darling.
Also.